great idea. If anybody has anything that they want to talk about, please put it in the comments of the group. Otherwise, I'll just pick some stuff for random, like what we got coming on right now. But now that we're live, I should go ahead and just start the show.
Welcome to the madness when news meets the crazy. Super Sunday wrap up where we keep it hazy. Pop culture pandemonium, entertainment galore. Yeah. Grab your popcorn, sit tight, let's dive in for more. Dive in for more. So buckle up, folks, it's gonna be alright. With laughter, sass, and a touch of snide. Super Sunday wrap up your entertainment guide. Let's dive into the chaos with nothing to hide. Super Sunday wrap up and today, yo, we're breaking the mold. Super Sunday wrap up. With the stars in our show, get ready for the ride. Let the wildness unfold.
I've got one that can see.
I love that particular scene in They Live. I've got one that can see.
Yeah.
And it seems to me like that is more appropriate now than at any other time in our lives.
Absolutely.
We can see now things that we could not see before. And, it's just, I find it very, very interesting. And that's why I put it in there. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Bob, how was your weekend, sir?
The weekend has been okay so far. Had yesterday was a little bit of a downer. It was 420. Tried celebrating, get up in the morning, and it's fucking snowing here. Like, I don't need that shit in, like mid-April. We don't need that here. But it didn't last
Where do you
too
live?
long. I live in Buffalo, man.
Oh,
Buffalo. So
God bless you.
Yeah, I should be used to this shit. But thankfully it wasn't like 6 feet in 4 hours, so everything kind of worked itself out. So the weekend's been very good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. How come buildings don't have slanted roofs wherever it snows like it does in Buffalo?
Dude, I have no clue. And you would think that we would be all over that some sort of stuff, or we would be leading the way in some sort of like road heating technology to melt ice and dumb shit like that, so we don't have to use like we have mounds of salt that we stash here for the winter, and it's insane. Like they're right on like some of our waterfront, some of these salt houses, and like I would think by now all that, especially here in New York State with all the taxes we paid, somebody just put in a fucking heated road for us and just save us some time. Not like the plow guys come out and help us either, but I digress.
Fox Drew, nice tie.
Thank you.
How's your weekend been, sir?
Good. We had D&D yesterday on the Thinker Gaming channel.
D&D, you say?
Yeah. We were doing was it Ascent to Avernus? Oh, sorry. Descent to Avernus. Thank you. And Gray was there.
Yeah, it was good times.
Yeah, we had, what do you call it? A bit of a mishap in combat where we had our glass cannon at the front of the party when we got surrounded by pirates.
Didn't have strategy set up there, but it worked out.
I had to write an ode to Leroy Jenkins and turned it into a rap using AI music, which I thought was kind of interesting.
That does sound kind of awesome.
And I'm only reminded by it because the strategy that they were planning on implementing, if you know the story of Leroy Jenkins, was all thrown out the window after he came back from his bathroom break and just screamed out his name and charged right into battle, and the entire party was eliminated.
I mean, sometimes you have a feeling. You just got to go with it.
Yeah. But yeah, it sounds interesting. Do you guys do that every weekend on Saturday at a specific time?
I think we're
Every
trying for
other,
every other week.
yeah,
Okay.
every other Saturday. We start at, well, we're, gosh, 9 a.m. Pacific. So adjust accordingly,
Okay. We'll have
depending
to
on your time zone. Yeah.
well, if you want people to follow, please put the link in the comment there, and we will make sure that everybody has the opportunity to find you guys and start following this great big adventure. And Warren, how was your weekend, sir?
Oh, good. Who's dying back there?
Oh, you know what? Everybody in my house is sick. Everybody is sick. We are streaming live from the infirmary, so it's the kids in the background. Fortunately, he's able to continue with the one lung.
Well,
So,
I'm glad the Black Plague is being contained. Um, I've been so the NBA playoffs have started, so I've been watching all the games this weekend. Some pretty good games, can't complain. Weather has been relatively decent, high 60s for New York. Still, I know it's like it's hoodie weather, so that's good. And then other than that, just preparing to, the League of Legends is gonna be having their mid-season tournament, so I'm gonna be doing content um with the wonderful incredible MSK soon, so that should be exciting.
Oh boy.
So that will be exciting. But yeah, that's all I really got planned.
well, it's
Oh,
what I admire you for all of the charity work you do.
thank you,
Um,
thank you, sir. I know, I trust me, I know. Other than that, nothing else.
so,
Oh,
go ahead,
baseball season
please.
since baseball season started, so I've been well has started, and I've been keeping up with the Yankees. So yes.
Okay, so right here in the comments is the YouTube channel that you guys can go to. It's there in the Twitch chat and it's there in the YouTube chat because I'm tight. And so you can follow these guys as they do their gaming things. Speaking of which, Gray, how has your weekend been?
Pretty good. Yeah, nothing major happened. Just a lot of quality time with my dogs. I get the pleasure of cutting their hair and traumatizing them. So yeah, good times. That's over now. So
How was the
Okay.
how are the sugar gliders? I know that
they're
they
doing good.
had, are they integrated
Yeah,
again?
no, they the two now try to hunt down the one. So now I'm looking to get an extra one so that I'll have two colonies instead of one. But they're all doing good. But yeah, interesting times. It's just weird. They were all housed together for 5 years, and then all of a sudden, two of them turned on one for no reason. So
Did
I don't know.
did he say sugar gliders?
Yeah, they're kind of like flying squirrels. They're marsupials. They're fun little creatures, but yeah, they're supposed to be colony creatures that just all live together peacefully, and somehow they did not a few months ago. So I tried to integrate them back together, but it doesn't look like that's going to work. So
I was hoping it was a brand new cereal.
I mean, you could, but yeah, a little crunchy.
They're
But
adorable.
they are. They're
yeah.
entirely too cute. Their eyes are like way too big for what they should be. But
You
they're
don't
cute.
touch them, do you?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
touch
They
them in the
crawl
eye?
all over me. Oh, not in the eye. No. I was gonna say they just love like crawling in your pockets or anything. If you got a shirt pocket, they just love being in there. Yeah, it's exactly.
I
It's
do have this
interesting.
pocket of
But,
which you speak.
but the zoo's going well. All the animals are accounted for. Just yeah, busy. But yeah, it's good times. It's Sunday. I'm ready to wrap up this week right here.
On
Absolutely.
the Super Sunday wrap up.
Exactly.
Well, today's topics we've got. We're going to be talking about today AI music, Vince McMahon selling his stock, Tony Schiavone after the whole releasing the video incident,
Liar.
calling out the internet, And of course, Ma and Pa Kent have been cast for the new Superman movie. And there are some rumors and hints about maybe Sydney Sweeney, that is, joining Sydney Sweeney and Sam Raimi in a Spidey movie.
That could be awesome.
We'll take a look at that next week. We'll be talking about the Golden Axe animated series, Aliens versus Avengers comic book, how Netflix may have used AI images in one of their documentary series, Sony's interest in Paramount, and the Transformers 1 trailer. So we've got all that to look forward to. But
I'm really looking forward to that. All of those stories really kind of draw me in, and I've seen that Netflix doc, so I really want to know about those pictures. I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. I'm sorry you came today, and you should have come next week. So
I know that's me.
But we've got a new section starting right now, and this section is what I like to call the promo section. So we will be talking about some of the promo things that I should be talking about while promoting the stuff that I should be promoting. For example, The Avengers, The Avenger, the complete series, totally remastered and digitized for your enjoyment. All 4 issues are now available on Global Comics. Just look for Rosales Comics on Global Comics, and you can read these classic comic books that we refurbished absolutely free. On the Rosales Comics website, you can find these brand new, very hip, very exciting t-shirts that are available for you right now. And because of copyright issues, we are describing these shirts as wonderful illustrated touchlights with the number 4 mounted on a wall. So that's what we are selling now. You too can have a touchlight of the number 4 on your chest and look like, be a hero, if you will. So, and also, as always, DMR hosting is available with business plans starting at $4.45 a month. You cannot pass up this deal for website hosting. 99% uptime. DMRhosting.com is where you go. Even the corporate settings at $8.39. It's cheaper than anything you can get out there and is just as much fun stuff that you would get at any other place hosting your websites. That's where I go to get all of my websites, is DMR Hosting. And it should be the place that you go to, too. I'm not only a member, I'm also a client, I guess.
Love it.
But those have been the promos for today.
Nice.
I was gonna say something actually. The that touchlight, it's like I could hit it and get cosmic rays. So I might.
Yes. It's actually a fantastic number 4.
Yeah, I might be able to flame on too.
Yes.
So,
you certainly won't be an invisible girl with it.
No, I hear they're just a thing.
Yeah.
Yes. You will look fantastic.
And incredible.
Like
Might
you're
even
part
call
of
you
a
Mr.
future
Incredible if you
foundation.
wear that.
So, oh, by the way, that is also some more AI music for my promos. I was able to use a brand new one, a brand new site called Udio. It's like studio without the S. And it allowed me to start with 30 seconds and then add an intro and an ending to it. So by starting something and then putting the middle vocals in there, I was able to add vocals to the beginning and the end, and it just kind of paired it all together and made it work. So
that's really cool. I got to mess around with these more and more. Yeah, you're just opening my eyes to this world of AI music, and it's It's intriguing and scary. Yeah, I think that's awesome. And then this segment, man, that's amazing. You have this really cool, I guess, buffer intro, fun time music for this promo section. Awesome, man. Yeah, I got to step up my game now.
Yeah. Ooh, that's not the good one. Here, we'll try this one. Oh yeah, everybody's in the same. So yeah, according to the Hilltop, AI has breached the front lines of the music industry, causing concern for creatives and consumers. We talked a little bit about that backstage before we got started, and a lot of people. A lot of people are unnerved by the fact that they could be used without the permission, and you know, back in my day, nobody could use my voice but me. But now anybody can use my voice and make me sound stupid. I know I don't sound stupid. I've got a degree. Oh wait, I didn't even do it. Here it is. This is the voice I was looking to do right here. I must be getting old. So, but using somebody's voice without the permission, if for to make it seem like they've done something, is probably a little bit scary, especially to a musician who doesn't want to sing death metal, like say the family of Whitney Houston. Uh, but however, some musicians and some voice artists are actually embracing um, the aspects of it. There was matter of fact, what was that guy's name on Kitty Stream who produced his own music that he would not have been able to do without the help of AI?
Kevin, but I can't
Kevin.
remember his handle.
Yes, Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
I'll go get that.
Yes. And basically, without the help of AI, he would not be able to do the things that he desperately wants to do as a musician, as a creator, as as an artist. And so AI really opens up the ability to expand where you're at. You've seen some creatives using loops when they don't have a band to play with them, and usually in coffee shops. But there was way back in the day. And I may be the only one who's old enough to remember that. But when sampling came around with rap music and music in general, people were upset that the musicians would be replaced by these beat boxes and things like that, these drum boxes. Excuse me. Oh no, they got me as well. I'm one of them. But it hasn't really changed all that much. So, the question is, how much really is this going to be going on here? This site said that new research reveals top AI tools utilized by music producers, and some of them are not saying anything about it. They're just using them on the down low. The use cases for artificial intelligence in the creative arts are growing seemingly every day. The latest research from Pirate, a global studio network, reveals as much. From the early stages of preliminary idea generation to one-click mastering, there's an AI asset tool made for most elements of the creative process. A deeper dive into Pirate study, which the company shared with EDM.com, where I got this article, illuminates intriguing insights into the specific roles AI plays in music production. Songwriting and composition emerged as the primary area where AI tools shine, with 30% of music finding them particularly beneficial in the stages. This is followed by research and inspiration at 21%, beat and rhythm creation at 12%, and mastering at 10%. Pirate also revealed in a recent survey that over half of musicians would not feel comfortable admitting to using AI technologies in their work. So there's that. And of course, Chat GPT is being used as well.
I was going to say, would that be that much different than like an author? Like if an author uses Chat GPT, are they going to say that they use that for like inspiration, for help with an outline or something like that? I think you just don't say that as a professional.
There are dozens of AI videos out there for writing, like specifically fantasy writing, where these quote unquote authors that use ChatGPT uh, push out dozens of books a year using that a process to generate these fantasy books and claim it as their own work.
No, that definitely seems a little weird. And same thing with the AI music, just because, like it is kind of creating it. So you're not kind of coming up with that. But I don't know if you're just using it for like plot points or to fill out like some sort of skeleton of a story and then you're actually adding to it. That seems so much different. But
Yeah, I mean,
no,
if you
I
want,
find it.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say that, and then we'll go around the panel real quick. I just wanted to say that I find it useful to put in to generate an idea. I'll go to Chat GPT and I'll say, well, let's use Dan Harmon's story circle and plot something out based on this particular input, like say a Western where a guy is trying to take a prisoner from one place to another. And and then I'll also add in, say, it's this type of story from the seven basic story types that are out there, and let it spit some stuff out. And normally, when I get something out of that, it's not useful. You can't take that and say, okay, this is it. This is the framework. It's always going to be super generic, and you can't just rely on what it spits out. But I found it useful to say, okay, you know, I don't have somebody to bounce ideas off of, and I used to. I loved it. Being able to say, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? Chat GPT gives you that opportunity of bouncing an idea off of a wall, like say solo racquetball, and formulate your own ideas. As long as that's not the final product, I don't really see a problem with it. Let's go around. Let's start with Bob.
Yeah. So as far as with AI music, as to like what Gray was saying, I do agree. Like when it's helping, um, when you're using it as a tool to help you, to help to help you, like I said, I don't want to say like create an entire song, but help you maybe fill in a couple things here or there. I see that as fine, but I guess it's for music. It's kind of weird because in a sense, there's always been some sort of form of that, right? When you have computers that make beats that where you're literally just inputting one keystroke and it does the whole thing. I don't know if it's a stretch, but maybe even auto tune, I would say could be a form of AI in itself because it's adjusting your shit pitch and tune to the correct one and making you sound light years better than you ever did. So it's I don't it's kind of I'm kind of on the fence here because on one hand, like you said to the guy that was on Kitty Stream who used it to do something that he would never be able to do otherwise without that tool, that's great because for people like him who are upstarting musicians who don't have a record deal or not getting any play, that's definitely the way to go if you're trying to creatively make an album or something like that. I mean, that's amazing. Um, but if you're an established artist and you're kind of doing this in a way that's, I don't know, I guess maybe making the work for you easier in a sense where you're really not doing anything and you're still just popping out album after album, it's that's where I guess I may have an issue with because then really you're really not doing anything. You're doing nothing. But uh, as a tool to help somebody, I'm fine. It's like I said, it's very great for me because there's so many different implications that it has, and so many positives, and also a lot of negatives, and it's ripe for abuse. And you could go on Twitter and you could see some of that abuse, maybe not in music, but as I was saying earlier, you got people who do, AI fakes of podcasters and stuff like that to try and promo some, crap product on Timu or something. So it's a very gray area here. So I'm more of
DMR
a
hosting.
fencer on them.
It's one of my favorite places. It's been around for ages. I used to visit it when I was in Maine. Uh, Drove 400 miles in a car. They used to call them Yugos, because you go this far, but I went a lot further. Me and Kim Jong Un, we went there to wait. I got to stick to the card. They're going to be mad at me. Sorry, sorry. Um, there was a guy. I don't know if you've known about him. He wrote quite a few books. Tom Clancy. You remember that
Yes,
guy, Tom
I've heard
Clancy?
I've
Mhm.
heard of him.
I think
Yep.
I've heard
I've
his
heard of
name
him.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom Clancy has this habit of producing these incredibly detailed outlines that cover the beginning, middle, and end of the stories, the character arcs, and everything else, and never doing anything with them. And him and the publishers decided that other people would come in and write the books based on those things. And that's a service called ghostwriting.
Hmm.
And so he, for a while there, did a lot of. And if I'm choosing the wrong author, please forgive me because it was
He's
somebody.
definitely not the only one. James Patterson also did that, where he just had like files full of like kind of premises and stuff, and he would just bring in younger writers to kind of do the same ghostwriting type deal.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
And
It seems to be a thing in the
if
industry.
you've if you've ever read a Garfield comic strip in a newspaper, you're old. But you've also read something that came out of an artist factory because the only thing Jim Davis did for the Garfield comic books for about 10 years was sign his name. Younger artists came in and younger writers came in, just like he treated it like a publishing house, like Marvel or DC, and other people did Garfield comics, and he signed his name to them. Like he was Bob Kane or somebody. But
Mm.
there's always somebody who's going to be out there to take advantage of whatever system is available to produce something to take credit for them. Fox Drew.
Yeah. So in all, okay, in every evolution of technology to aid art, the whole point is to get a tool to like automate in some way a process, like a compass, making a circle, or even we skip forward to today where we have tools to create lighting effects on art, or hash mark tools or whatever that you can paint onto digital art, and all kinds of different things that exist before people were worried about AI, that were happening in the art world. And the whole point is so that you can remove the drudgery and add in kind of a preciseness of a tool so that you can better achieve your artistic vision while not spending a lot of time on the drudgery of the art. And that's what I see in AI, both in music uh, and in art and script writing, is that if we're trying to remove like the unnecessary hard work, right? Then I think that this could be a great thing for artists, and open up, so that people who maybe aren't as skilled can achieve a vision, right? But people who are masters of their craft will be able to use this stuff to be even better. And I think that it's there's not a reason to fear it as long as we're still using it, the technology in that way. If we're just spitting out whatever is given, if we're publishing whatever the AI spits out based off of a question, I think that is when we'll be running into some trouble.
Yeah, I think some people will be adversely affected by this because I do think that the drum machine did replace some jerk drummers some session performers that were hard to work with.
Sure.
Really early on, it's like, all right, we don't need to get Chris. We don't need Chris in here. I just spent $20,000 on this little machine that can do what Chris does and better.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
drummers
Chris,
are
I
the
didn't mean to call him out. But
drummers are the least reliable people on the planet, though. So it kind of makes sense why you'd go drum machine route.
It
They-
does,
that's-
but the sound is so you can hear the difference. There is a difference in hearing live drums on an album and
Solo.
Yeah, like you can hear like that drum machine at work, and while it may be cool and it sounds good, it I don't think it beats an actual. If you have somebody who is good to work with, I don't think it would actually beat a live in studio drummer. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Warren, how do you feel?
I mean, I'm of the philosophy: work smarter, not harder. And if this can make it easier for you to get work done and get like Fox said, menial stuff out the way, why not? I mean, because a good someone in the industry for music I'm sure can easily tell what AI music sounds like compared to something created in the studio. So you could see, unless they, start perfecting it, which will eventually happen at some point, but you can tell quality when you've been working in a specific genre for some time. So if this can help people, get menial stuff out of the way, cut costs here and there, because again, a lot of money, music goes into, say, movies too, and shows and all sorts of stuff. So if this cuts out just a little bit of money, you best believe people will use it. So I have no problem with it, because this is, I mean, we hear music throughout the day somehow, some way. So this is gonna be like on a global scale beneficial.
So, Gray, we were talking
Yeah.
about this particular song, and it's a disco prompt, but
Yeah.
it's also a game show prompt. And although I could never have orchestrated this myself, I got this to do what I needed it to be, which was just be a fun background to the promo section. And I'm not a musician. I used to play the cymbals in high school, and the cymbals is where they
Necessary.
put you when you said you were a drummer and you weren't. You got to hold the cymbals, and crash them, during the Star Spangled Banner. So, with that being the extent of my music abilities, we have this and a session singer who, for
Yeah.
this particular group, this particular program, has
The promo team.
like we talked with Kat Drew earlier, licensed her voice. These singers have licensed their likeness to sing these songs, and are AI generated to be exactly what they need to be. So
Yeah.
you're delving into this, and you're obviously, you and I are not putting anybody out of work. We would never have hired anybody in the first place. We would have done what poor people do, which is do without.
Yeah.
We
Or be kind of, skirting the ethical line and taking somebody else's work and using it. I know there's a lot of people that do that with streams. I don't know. I'm kind of two minds on this. So I did
You mean
used to be a
they
musician.
take somebody's music and remove their voice, so they have these
Yeah.
wonderful background sounds.
I mean, it's ethically gray. It's sorry, my dogs are wrestling at my feet. I hope it's not too loud on the mic. So like I used to be a musician, and we kind of ran into this thing like Bob was talking about with pitch correcting, or like some sort of vocal treatment. People would say that that's cheating and you're not getting like an accurate representation of what people are actually capable of. Instead, this is going to ruin the music industry, this auto tuning. We got the same thing with so we always had kind of drum machines like the 808s and everything, but then we got into drum programming where like you could choose the intensity, and they're using like hundreds of different samples to really kind of imitate somebody's actual playing. And then they have this feature called Humanize where it just adds random mistakes and just slightly off timing to it, and it really does make it sound less like a machine and more like a human. And that was, a controversial at the time. They're saying this is going to put drummers out of the business. It might have put some of them out of it, but again, like Rosales was saying, I don't think these are the top guys. These aren't the amazing musicians who are always there on time. It's kind of hey, this makes it so much easier than dealing with this guy who's a hassle, who shows up late, who doesn't quite get it, who takes a million takes. This is so much more reliable in so many different ways. I don't know. I kind of like the idea behind this, and kind of what Warren was saying. I hope there are people that can distinguish between AI music and regular music, but I don't know, with all these virtual instruments that we have, sometimes it's really hard to tell if it's, like a keyboard playing horns or if that was AI doing it. With a lot of these, I've been surprised as to which is actually AI and which isn't. Like the guy that we were talking about, the Collective Official is his YouTube site, but he was able to make some kind of metalcore and some emo core music. I hadn't heard AI versions of that. I'd be hard pressed to figure out if those were like programmed drums or if that was AI music. Maybe we'll have tools that can really detect this in the future, but it's getting almost indistinguishable. Like with AI art, you can really tell with like fingers and stuff. I can't really hear telltales in the signs. Like it could be a virtual instrument, it could be a keyboard, or it could be, this AI thing kind of mimicking the noises. But damn, it is close. I've been fooled by a lot of it, and I used to work in studios, so
Yeah,
I don't know. I hope somebody has better.
Like you were saying, when you look at an AI art, you can count 17 fingers on a woman or 2 elbows. It's approximating what the general image may look like and does not get in there deep enough. I saw this meme where it said like this could be a picture of or an advertisement for McDonald's, a Fiat, and Marlboro cigarettes all in one. And just on a casual, if you're looking at it and you're scrolling through, you're going to say, haha, that's kind of funny. This dude is really, he was a badass redneck back in 82. But upon closer inspection, you could see that he had a vest on, t-shirt sleeves, but no shirt. He did have a furry chest. Okay.
Nice.
He had a giant, tall order of French fries with a straw in it. Okay. The straw was coming out of it. The girl who was set at the next table had really long red hair and a big, thick leather belt, as was the case back in the day, but she didn't have on a shirt. And the last guy in the background had this sort of claw hand thing, which maybe they let him out, it was a day trip or something. But it was obvious to me that it was an AI image. Somebody prompted, the most redneck person you could find in 1985, and it sitting at a McDonald's having a burger or something, and it got really, really close. And I think in some of this music, a real artist is going to, somebody who's in there, like a violinist, an orchestra, classically trained musician is going to be able to tell when something is just sounding like it should or actually being what it is. But I think we're getting closer to living in that simulation of which people have been claiming.
Close.
Because
and audio seems to be even easier to get it in that really indistinguishable zone. I think the audio is going to be a lot harder to distinguish in the future. But that's kind of the hardest part about, I guess, being a musician or creating something. Mm-hmm. If you can't play all the instruments yourself, then you're relying on other people to actually show up on time, to actually learn the part, to actually play it correctly, where this takes a lot of that out of there, and it just reduces the time. I don't know. I can't tell you how many projects I've worked on that have stalled out at some point because a musician either didn't learn their part or didn't show up. And this just kind of takes that out of it. I don't know. It really seems like it's an amazing future we will be living in very soon.
Yeah, but none of it none of it may be real. Just take a look at this Forbes article right here by David Heineken, orchestrating the future of AI in the music industry. I was going to use this in my the previous slides, but I had noticed a specific pattern of writing, having so much experience with ChatGPT, that it looked like the article had been written by AI. And I noticed that he didn't put on here that he had used AI. Um, he serves as an advisor to corporate nonprofit leaders in the organizations in the areas of innovation, work, and design, and business and technology. So he's advising people on what they should do with technology and talking about the things of AI. However, a section of his article pretty much says that it's 100% AI in a free detector. So basically,
Hmm.
this guy used AI to write an article about AI
And got paid for it.
and got paid for it and did not announce it in the article. Of course, it talks about making sure people are labeling accordingly
That's hilarious.
what's
Wow,
what.
the irony.
So if you want to go to
Yeah.
Forbes and read the article, it's there. I'm not going to be doing that, but
You know what's interesting? It reminds me of this one modern, quote unquote, modern artist who like was paid. Oh gosh, it was an obscene amount of money, right? For like two different art installations, and what he turned in was two blank canvases titled "My Take the Money and Run."
it's good work if you can get it.
Yeah, that's genius,
Conceptually,
actually.
it's amazing. I
Yeah.
love the idea. I would
Very
hate it
meta.
if I paid for it.
Good morning, 76.
Good morning. What are you doing?
All right, man. Stop talking about women. You can go back.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about the AI music revolution? What's happening right now?
I don't know. I feel like anything that has to do with AI, I just put a tinfoil hat on. So, I mean, really, do we really want to ask me? Because, I mean, I'm just going to say it's all corrupt. Why are you guys doing this? You guys are going to, like, create some monster. AI is going to take over. We're going to destroy the world. It's going to be worse than, like, the Planet of the Apes, monkey apocalypse. What do you guys want? Why do you guys keep creating things that are just going to take away our jobs? Did no one play, what was that game, Detroit? Did no one play that game? I mean, you know.
Detroit Become Human.
Thank you. Is that what you guys want? Is that what you people want? Because that's what's going to happen when you guys create weird stuff. Stop creating weird stuff.
I mean, to an extent, we should all want that in some aspect. I mean, that's what these tools should be used for, in a sense. They should be used for the improvement of the quality of everybody's lives.
But do you realize that in that game that the AI became sentient, turned and
Well,
started offing the
oh,
humans? Is that what you want, Bob?
well, no, I don't want that. And unfortunately, most likely, AI, like I said, it's ripe for corruption and definitely abuse. And there's always going to be people who control these tools and have their own agendas on what they want to use them for. I guess my biggest fear as far as the music is concerned really is if you have somebody, a mainstream artist, a very big artist, who uses AI to make album, to do everything, what does that concert look like? Are you or anybody else comfortable enough paying hundreds of dollars to sit and watch one person on a big ass stage by themselves, maybe singing, sort of singing?
I don't think it's gonna really affect live shows. Like again, like you're saying, like who wants to go and see, like a DJ just push like one button on his laptop?
So that's
Instead, you want to
so
see
what is
people
the alternative?
perform.
Do you just have Milli Vanillis up there pretending to play the
Yeah,
music?
well, either that or you have people learn how to be Milli Vanillis up there on the stage to put on a show, and backup dancers. Of course,
Then
you
you
need
have
those.
you do have those large those DJs that have the light shows and they
Yes.
wear the masks on their heads, or you have bands like Gorillas that are on tour and doing groups.
Well, you might have
Things.
holograms soon standing in the place of those people, like, and you'll
We
see
already
a
had
video.
it.
Yeah, we've had that
Hitsune
before with
Miku?
Tupac.
Hatsune Miku.
So I know,
Gesundheit.
yeah, no, but I'm saying like the thing is that also take in mind that when people go on tour, it to be on stage and go on tour, it is exhausting for those people. It's not like you are performing for a few hours and having to make sure your voice is ready a few days later, and I'm giving the devil's advocate side. I'm not
Oh,
saying that
sure.
it's great, but that is also something too that could help in a sense. But again, I don't think you should use it for all that. It should just be a resource to make life easier, not to supplement.
True, but somebody's going to. There is going to be somebody who does a complete AI album from top to bottom, and it's going to blow up. It'll get big on Twitter or fucking TikTok. It'll be every sound on that fucking dumb app. And then all of a sudden, that's what you have. One person standing on a stage performing. Because even if Gracie, then you have again now not only did you now just make an album or whatever, but now like Grace says, now you have to find people who understand it, can play it, can do it live over and over and over and over again. What if it doesn't sound as good as your album did because the album was strictly AI and there's zero flaws, zero? One thing I always get mad at, especially going to concerts, is I can't stand studio bands that sound amazing on CD. Then you go see them live, and it's fucking shit, like absolute shit. That's the worst.
You would have
So
hated
It
to have
is the
seen
worst,
Rolling
and it's
Stones. You would have hated to have heard the Rolling Stones in the 80s.
I probably would have. I would have been absolutely pissed then if they were like that because and I've seen a couple bands like that. Early Jared
there's
Leto and 30 Seconds to Mars. I wanted to kill the fucking guy. You don't sound anything like you do on the album, bud. I would say that might have been AI. That was definitely an auto tune in a fucking
it's
half.
It's close
Stop.
enough.
Just
Like
stop.
a studio is so much different than live. You can just have a million takes. You can do anything you want to, just any particular piece of it. It's all isolated. Where live, you
100%
have to
true.
pull it off. And it's
But
just, I can't tell you how many bands I've seen that can't pull it off live. I don't know that that's going to be a different thing with this AI thing. You're still going to have that same issue with live. You got to have somebody that can pull it off. I'm sorry for talking over you, Miss 1776. Please go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. I was just insulting Bob. It's all good.
No,
No one
you
wanted
did
to hear
the right
Yeah, that's
thing.
fine.
You did the right thing. Don't worry about that.
that.
she's a woman.
You know-
Talk over her. Interrupt.
What would be interesting
Bob.
would be
Go
to
ahead.
see, it would be interesting to see what somebody's reaction would be to hear their own voice singing something they've never sung in a way that they've never heard.
Oh.
And fortunately for the people at there, I ruined it. We do have that available to us. Let's take a quick look, real quick.
May I kick a little something for the G and make a few ends as I breeze through 2 in the morning and the party still jumping cause my mama ain't home. I got bitches in the living room getting it on and they ain't leaving till 6 in the morning. So what you wanna do? Shit, I got a pocket full of ruffles and my homeboys do too.
Nice.
So
That is
yeah,
interesting.
the way that's done is they take a song, in the case the Disney song, and they run it through a deal where it separates the music from the lyrics, like this example right here. So there's no singing, music available to them, and then they themselves have to sing in the cadence and in the key of the song that they're trying to impersonate with the new lyrics. Okay, so people actually sung Gin and Juice to the cadence of the other song. And then they took those tracks of their own voices to, like, say, 11 Labs or something like that, and they processed it with a sample of Snoop Dogg's voice and reassembled those tracks, which is the tracks that we saw in the background of the singing and the music in the background and whatever extra sound effects they had with the slide whistle. So it took a lot of work to put those together.
Sure.
And these guys are actually going on a limited tour in the Texas area, North Texas area. and playing these songs live. They're obviously not doing the voice changing, but they're singing the songs the way they have them.
That's
changed
kind of
up.
awesome. It sounds like an
pretty cool.
interesting idea for a mashup with a, an interesting way. I just when you bring in the impersonation where it's not actually somebody doing the impersonation, I don't know that it feels like it's a weird gray area again, where like, does anybody care if somebody's going to pretend to be Snoop Dogg and kind of do an impersonation on a track? No, but if you're actually using like AI to make his voice, I don't know. That's
and
it's a little weird.
Everything there is declared, so you can see that it's Snoop Dogg. You can see that it's the Disney song from the Jungle Book, and you can see everything is all separated out. And because it's saying there, I ruined it, that it is a mashup, and that all of it is a gag. Speaking of gags, let's welcome Cole. But the thing is that there are people out there that are taking the "There I ruined it" songs and putting them with AI videos of, like, say, Hank Williams, singing death row stuff, and claiming that these are videos of lost media, which I know Cole is all about lost media, and trying to pass it off, let's throw our tinfoil hats on, as something that was originally done in 1963, which it wasn't, So, hey, Cole, good morning. How are you, sir? How do you feel about the AI music?
I think it's a crime against humanity. We should destroy anyone who makes it.
But Cole, no, I make it.
Well, we have to destroy you then, I guess.
Sounds tough, but fair.
See, Cole understands me and the AI takeover of robots. Why is everybody else like? I just.
Get out the way! Get out the way, bitch! Get out the way! Move, bitch!
See, results. You laugh now. You laugh now, but it's gonna happen. You laugh now, but it's gonna happen. I'm gonna laugh when you guys all get attacked by AI robots. Swear.
We'll be dead by then.
You're not allowed to be in my rebellion group either.
I'll be in a diabetic coma when that happens.
I'll be in my bed having a catheter and eating applesauce.
Like, men won't be available to help anyway because the AI robot girlfriends will have zapped the motivation of nearly all the men.
Did you guys not watch
the minority?
Because, no, they snap on you guys. They turn on you, and then
they're getting realistic.
Well, that's just that's modern dating anyway.
Yeah, was the robot hot?
You guys make me want to be a feminist sometimes, I swear. If I wasn't so against feminism, I would be a feminist despite you guys.
It's in your blood. That's why you feel it.
Well, I think we pretty much covered this topic as well as can be expected. And I don't know if you guys realize that, but that means it's promo time again.
Yeah.
At this point, let me switch this out real quick. Yes. From our good friends at Well Go USA, we have a new release coming out starring Lily Sullivan. It is the DVD Monolith, which will be available on April 23rd. Get my promo sheet real quick. From Well Go USA Entertainment, while trying to salvage her career, a disgraced journalist, Sullivan, begins investigating a strange conspiracy theory. But as the trail leads uncomfortably close to home, she is left to grapple with the lies at the heart of her own story. Bonus material included behind-the-scenes featurette and writer, producer, director, audio commentary. Following the international premiere at South by Southwest, Monolith was nominated for the New Visions Award at I don't know what that place is. Anyway, it's coming out on the 23rd. Available on DVD. I have an advanced copy. I'll be doing a review of this advanced copy sometime soon. But in a couple of days, get out there and get your copy of Monolith. Order it now. It'll be available soon. Man,
Nice.
Will
Great
do,
job.
baby.
not as easy as
That
I
was
thought it was
terrible,
going to
Warren.
be. So,
I
anyway,
had to throw
there's
that in
that.
there.
Shame on
So,
you.
what do we got? Let me
What's
take a
up?
look real quick. Let me
What's
take a
up?
look.
All right.
What was? Where is it? Where'd I put it?
Oh, by the way, I like the background with the reminds me of the Flash series with Harrison Wells when he's in
Yeah.
that little thing.
If you lay down on it, it tickles. Let's see. What's next? Vinny Mac. Oh, we're going to talk a little bit
Vinny.
of wrestling. We're going to talk a little bit of wrestling
This
here.
is Kitty's favorite
Yeah.
topic. Damn, where are you, Kitty?
She is unavailable right now. I do see that she was playing Roblox, so she's probably entertaining her nephew, which is fine. You know,
Mm.
family time is very, very important. But she'll be back soon enough, and it'll be available. She'll be available to talk wrestling by the next time we have a wrestling topic.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here. Former WWE CEO Vince McMahon puts all his remaining TKO stock for sale. He is cashing out.
He
Okay.
is.
Vince McMahon continues to divest from TKO stock. Now offering, where'd you guys go? There you are. Now offering all his remaining shares for sale alongside Nick Khan and Steve Koonin. McMahon filed with the SEC on Friday to make his shares available for purchase, totaling, wow, that's a lot of shares. What is that? 8,021,405.
Oh boy.
The move follows his recent sale of nearly 3.5 million shares, resulting in profiting of exceeding 300 million. The point is that he's already cashed out about 1.5 billion, and he's going to cash out a 786 million, which will bring him close to $2 billion,
Not
just
bad.
for shits and giggles. So a lot of people are speculating
Hmm.
that maybe he's going to rebuild his empire from scratch with the money he's got available.
Yes.
I, on the other hand, have a different theory because he's being investigated by the FBI. And he's in civil court for trafficking in human people's ladies. Um, I think possibly what he did was he negotiated with speculation, tinfoil hat on my head. I believe he negotiated with TKO and said, "You're going to need to help me buy this lady out and settle out of court." And they said, "You're going to have to be gone." And so he gave up his remaining stock, and they're going to pool together and come up with an undisclosed amount of money to make her thing go away. And then he's going to be able to use whatever influence his wife has in the political arena to tell the prosecutors and the FBI,
Yep.
hey, this civil suit went away. And so that means there's nothing to it. So everything should go away. And then all of his 2 billion or most of it will be gone paying off lawyers for both sides, all sides, and people that were affected by his actions. And then he'll be able to ride off into the sunset and, you know, eat sandwiches in New York at delis because they're about $35 for a ham sandwich. What do you guys think, Bob? Let's start with you.
I like you. I think your theory is more dead on than him trying to restart up a any sort of new promotion. That doesn't seem too viable to me, really, especially at his age. I think he has enough sense to know that with all this that's going on, all the stories out there about him, that probably nobody's going to give him the time of day, really, as far as a new promotion goes. Not only that, but starting a new promotion. We're my God, you got to get the talent. You got to get everything. I mean, I don't. It's not something that can. It's not like a pop up by night thing that you could just do and then the next day you're selling out arenas. Just ask Tony Khan about that. He's been doing this for a few years now and he's having trouble. Um, so I think I'm in a total agreement with you that your theory is probably the most plausible, that he's selling off to pay off everything and everybody to get this just, you know, done and behind him so he can enjoy whatever limited time he has left here on this earth. Because, like I said, right now, nobody gives a hot shit about anything that he wants to do. You know, everything really that he tried doing a startup on really has failed. You can go back to way back in the Attitude Era, WWE, the World restaurants and stuff like that. Those didn't stick around too long.
Oh my God, I forgot about those.
I know I had a deep cut there. The closest one that I had, because there wasn't one, there was one in New York City, which I wasn't driving 6 hours to go to, and then the closest one I had here to Buffalo would be on the other side of the border in Canada, right across the border, Clifton Hill, and that thing was a piece of shit. It had no dining, it had nothing. You could literally go there, give them $10 American to watch pay-per-views on a Sunday. That was about it. So that was failed. XFL, we all see how that went. Not once, twice now.
Yeah, well,
the Rock had,
to be
the Rock
fair
had to come and
there,
do that.
the XFL actually had potential the first time, and then the second time they're actually doing well, COVID just screwed them over.
Well, again, it's his hand, man. That's him, though. That's all him.
Yeah,
So
for
whether it
sure. Again,
succeeds or
he's
fails is on
stubborn
him.
like that. He
And
just
so
won't
far,
let things go.
yeah, the guy's 0 for 3. You could even go as far back. I'll even take you really back. Let's go to the 80s when the guy was trying to undercut bodybuilding with the WBF. Okay? That lasted all of a month before the IBF said, get the fuck out of here. You're not welcome. You can't be poaching people. So he really has a very shit track record of startups. So the likelihood of him saying, you know what, we're doing a brand new promotion, I think is zero. So again, I'm with you, Rosales. The guy's just trying to get some money in the bank, save what he can, and enjoy the next hopefully 3-4 years that he's got left.
Fox Drew.
Yeah. So I'm wondering. Okay, so the theory that he wants to start his own thing, the theory that he is preparing for a lawsuit, or a payout or settlement, makes sense. However, it also, I mean, he could be doing multiple things at once, so it could be both of those things. What occurs to me is that he's also kind of a petty person, and he could be trying to tank the stock, trying to short the stock, right? So by dumping everything he has, right, he might be trying to create instability in the market and then crash the stock so that when it's at the floor, he can rebuy it and then have all that extra money and the stock again.
That's an interesting take, because he did turn around and buy his way back in essentially when he was ousted the first time and retake control. However, there were people, other stockholders that have sued the WWE because of his shenanigans and the fact that they were fudging the numbers and making things different and just not declaring a whole lot of stuff. It is a totally different business than when he started.
Yes.
They have, WWE itself has built this new dynamic where foreign countries are paying them to come and perform.
Like the
So
Saudis.
no long, yes, they it took a lot of years for them to do that, but basically
And
it
hundreds
came
of
down
millions
to a
of dollars.
point where Australia was like, we'd like you guys to come down here. The tourist board was like, we want you guys to come down here and do your thing and everything else. And they were able to say, okay, well, this is what it's going to cost to bring us down. and
Mm-hmm.
showing them what the Saudis have been paying them. And you know, I wasn't there, but I'm pretty sure the conversation was like, "All right." So they paid them to go to Australia. And so they didn't
Yes.
have to get the venue. They didn't have to do any of the hotel stuff. And they got paid
Exactly.
to do that. Now, the gate was theirs and all of the merchandise sales was theirs, but
Yep.
they had no overhead except the wrestlers and the travel. So we are looking at some of the highest profitability in foreign soil that they've
Yeah.
ever had outside of Saudi Arabia. And what does that get you? That gets you a new program where five, no, it's five. It's five. Five of this year's pay per views are going to be on foreign soil.
Mm-hmm.
And those countries are going to be paying them to come in. They no longer need the fans to make money.
No.
Not necessarily. They only
No.
need the countries outside of the United States to invite them and take them over. And that is a strategy that cannot at this point in time be done by AEW.
No. God, no.
And
Nobody's paying them to go anywhere.
there is absolutely no way that they are going to, as a company, Endeavor and TKO, which is underneath it,
No.
let Vince McMahon come in and try to get a slice of that pie. But that is a big pie, and I can see where Fox is coming in that he may try to come back in and do that. You know, he is a petty person. He does not stop moving, as Bob has proven, and does not stop trying to reinvent where he can get his money from. So that's an interesting thing to keep an eye on. Definitely, the stock has gone down. It hasn't gone down as much as would be beneficial. They haven't been over $100. They got close. I think they got to 85, and now they're down to 82
Is that
with
where
the
they're at now? When I
announcement.
was looking, I looked just up TKO stock price just out of curiosity. And if I'm looking at the right one, which is TKO Group Holdings, they're sitting at 95.52. So they're almost at that $100 mark.
Okay, so they've gone up. Yeah. So it may not have worked in his favor then, because I don't think they have a history of being over 100. Uh, so Warren, what's your
Uh,
take?
my take is honestly, what's well. First, let me ask this question, and I'll give the take. How old is Vince right now?
He's old enough to run for president.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's like
Okay.
around 80, I think. Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
So
hovering the
yeah,
80 mark.
78.
yeah. So I don't think that man wants to go through all that hassle at his age right now, because that could literally, like, if he were
Oh,
to.
it will surprise you. He's still stubborn like that.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, you could
he
be stubborn, but like, um Bob was mentioning, I believe Bob or Fox. He's like, do you want to give induce a heart attack by trying to rehash something at like 70 something? That doesn't make sense to me. Where you'd rather just go into the sunset and just like say, hey, you know what? Let's get this money. Whatever happened, let's pay people this money off, even if it's probably horrible. And I just want to, be on my merry way. That's the way I see it. I mean, if I had that amount of money, or I could muster that or collect it, I'd rather just pay it off than go through court cases and all this stuff, because it's like I ain't got no time for that. Like, I need to find that meme. Ain't nobody got time for that at a certain age. And it's horrible if the things come out that it's true, which I don't know. I don't keep up with WWE, but if it is, it sucks. But I don't think you'd want to do that. And like, undermine, like, do you really want to go out? And the other theory that was brought up, do you really want to go out by undermining other, like yourself, like being that petty, like your last hurrah with your money? That don't make any sense to me. Like, I know if I got money, I want to keep my money, not waste it just to be Captain Petty. So I mean, that's like Bill Gates saying, hey, you know what? I got 900 billion, whatever. I'm just gonna give it, throw it out in the ocean, because I want to see it float. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on it. I'm sure you guys are more versed in wrestling than I am and what goes on. So
wrestling.
That's just me.
Gray, how do you feel about Vince
Hmm.
McMahon and his possibilities?
I think he needs to shave that mustache. But aside from that, I think Foxer's theory. I don't know. I hadn't thought of it that way. That's really interesting. And then, yeah, I think your explanation of it also makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm not sure. I don't know. Going off of kind of what Warren said, like I agree. I think most people would want to, kind of write out their golden years. I don't know about this guy. I don't know. He definitely seems petty. And when Warren was saying like, just pay off people, it's like, yeah, but he's kind of in this trouble because he didn't pay off someone. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. I don't think he would just let this stand, but I
Well,
do hope that he will not let
to
that
be
mustache stand.
to be perfectly honest, he got into this trouble probably because he was paying people off. It came out in an investigation that he had been paying millions of dollars of hush money to certain people, and they were obligated to stay silent because of these NDAs, which have been so popular in the news lately.
Yeah.
And he stopped paying them because the board found out about it, and there was some inquiries and things like that. And this was the first time he was driven out of the company, but he still owned a great deal of stock. So they stopped paying on that, and she took it to a lawyer, and the lawyer said, "You know what? This NDA really doesn't stand for anything because what you're talking about is something that's illegal, and you cannot legally bind somebody from reporting crimes."
Yes.
And so now we got this second round of things. There might be a statute of limitations over time, which is why they went with a civil suit,
Mm-hmm.
but there may not be a statute of limitations, which is why the FBI is looking into it as well. But
Yes.
what we are talking about is a man who does take the money and use it willy nilly the way he feels like doing it, whether it's starting um, a bodybuilding federation outside of everybody else's establishment of bodybuilding federations, or making deals to combine UFC companies and his own. The man likes to wheel and deal. The man likes to
Yes, he
be
does.
in business. The man likes to apparently, swing his Johnson around.
And we got
Um,
to remember too that this was a guy up until he was forced to really just get kicked out of the company. This was a guy that made every live show appearance, was at every pay-per-view from morning, noon till night. So, while the probability of him starting up a new company is, I would say, on the extremely low side, that doesn't mean that it's really impossible because he really is a spiteful person, and this whole thing, this whole scenario reminds me of after he bought WCW and Ric Flair became the quote unquote general manager of Raw for a while. He went on this whole tirade about how the only person that can kill his company will be him, and I don't think that that's too far off from reality. While that may have been a scripted promo he was reading at the time, I feel that some of his real feelings are in there. Um, because he, like everybody's saying, he is a spiteful guy. This is a guy who doesn't doesn't back down from challenges or stuff like that. The whole steroid trial, you could see that there. I mean, it was 100% known that everybody was getting steroids, and the guy vigorously denied it, even when they had star witnesses going, well, yeah, they had doctors that are giving them to me. He was still saying no. So it's, it's, I don't, it's hard for me to put up my faith in that, yeah, this guy's going to start up a new company, but at the same time, I'm not going to completely 100% say that it's impossible because who knows? 4 years from now, this dude could be sitting up on TV on, Ion TV channel telling you about, the new WWFE network that he's got something stupid and crazy that'll last a year and go bust. But who knows? This guy. It's free entertainment. That's what I do now. Watching this guy.
Cole, we have a Netflix documentary they had been working on about Mr. McMahon, a nice little puff piece that WWE is prone
Nice.
to do
Well,
about their things.
yeah,
Since
as I said, that thing needs like 100 parts to cover everything.
now that they're partnering up with the WWE and TKO, do you think they're going to squash that, or are they going to A24 it? And oh my goodness, somebody get that guy a cough drop.
Jesus.
Son, do you need a lozenge?
Ricola.
Yeah.
Ricola.
Honestly, not sure. I'm sure they might just put it out somewhere else. Probably. I really don't know. I mean, hopefully it's better than that Nickelodeon documentary that was just saying the obvious everybody knew for many years, but just to boomers who were oblivious, and was poorly made and basically said nothing new, and then also didn't say a lot of stuff like interviewing that one guy about how he was molested, but then not bringing up how he then also molested children too. So yeah, that was a bad documentary. But anyways, hopefully it's better than that. But yeah, I do believe he's out for good this time, though. I do think he's just paying them off by selling these stocks.
Do you really think he would have consented to being in front of a camera if they were going to ask him about that?
Good Lord. Probably not. Yeah, I mean, people think he'll buy the stocks back after this is all resolved. I mean, it would be very Vince if he did that, with never letting go of ideas and WWE, because, he should have sold out like 8 to 10 years ago, given the company to Triple H and Shane, if we're being honest. But I think he's done for good this time, as his reputation is so damaged that if it ever like gets better at any point over time, then it will be to the point where he's like way too old to do anything. It would be like Harold Campin 2.0. So I'm just shocked this is only happening now, honestly. But it's like the worst kept secret, just like the Stardom founder now. But hopefully he pisses off, and hopefully he only has a few years left and doesn't live for as long as Harold Bauer did. So
You make these references as if we know what's going on in Stardom Japan.
Yeah, Harold Ballard is like the real life equivalent. Well, was the real life equivalent of Scrooge McDuck or whatever his name was. Yeah, he was the owner of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he was literally the. You should. There's like a 20-minute special on it on YouTube. It is hilarious. He's like every stereotype ever, and racist and everything, just literally cares about money, would sell everything in the arena just for more stakes and everything. And it was just hilarious. But
yes, absolutely funny.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for laughing.
Yeah.
Haha.
Ha!
Oh, well, come on. You have to know who Harold Campin is, right, Rosales?
If,
I didn't. I said him because I thought you would know who.
I don't, you know what? I am less Canadian than you believe.
Yeah, we're American, man. We don't get.
Well, no, he's
Canadian
American.
references.
He was like one of the most popular people in like Christian figures ever. He ran a radio show and he made millions off of it. And then he like spent like $500 million in 2011 to tell the people that the world was ending. And then it didn't happen. It was hilarious.
No, it's not ringing any bells.
Oh damn! Wow.
Only Christian figure people know of in this country is Jesus. So if that guy's name ain't Jesus, ain't nobody know about him. Or his $500 million scam.
Yeah. People would, I think, that know Thomas Kincaid way more than the guy that you're talking about.
I mean, you might not know of him, but you probably remember the incident. Maybe it was.
Yeah, no, the incident sort of rings a bell a little bit.
I smell Heaven's Bakery cooking up something good for you, sister.
Yeah.
That's the 76's favorite. She absolutely loves that.
Yeah. Well, she'll be back momentarily. I guess the biscuits are done. But all right. Well, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in the long run on what's going on there. But Vinny Mac's fire sale is not the only thing that happened this week. Somebody got a job playing Pa Kent.
Yeah.
Let's see, where is that? Here we go. Yeah. Superman finds
Oh,
his
okay.
Jonathan Kent in Pruitt Taylor. Vince. Gesundheit. James Gunn's Superman has cast veteran character actor Pruitt Taylor Vince as Jonathan Kent, a.k.a. Pa Kent. The Rapids learned exclusively. The Rapids where I got this article. Jonathan Kent is Superman's adopted father, who finds the superhero when he first arrived on Earth as an infant in Kryptonian spaceship in the fields of Kansas. The role was previously played by Kevin Costner in The Man of Steel and Glenn Ford in 1978 Superman.
Oh, Glenn.
Superman is the inaugural DC Studios film, which is currently in production, which is part of Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters of the relaunch of the new DC Universe. And there's other people who are in the movie, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some people thought, hey, it's great casting. He looks like he's about to have a heart attack. Other people were like, well, he's no Costner. So, what do you guys think?
Jeez, I mean, one of the number one guy who's about to looks like he's about to have a heart attack, then it'd be Jonathan Banks. But yeah, I mean, I like the casting though. If you look at recent pic photos of him, it fits the part honestly, and he's a good actor. I feel like though that these news media just purposely picked the weirdest photo of him playing a character that looks totally nothing like the character the most, just to cause a bunch of chaos online. Really, they cast this guy looks like a character from Prison Break, which hey, a certain someone was on apparently. So
yes, I was on Prison Break. I was in the Sona prison scenes back in the day when they were filming here in the DFW area. So a lot of local actors played prisoners in a South American prison, which, of course, as you know, Cole, did not look at all accurate. But who's here a Snyder fan? Anybody?
No.
Depends on your definition of fan.
Kind of love watching those movies, but they're not good. Yeah,
I like laughing at them.
I mean,
yeah.
So we got two members of the Dead Pixel Society.
I just only like 2 of his movies. But that's about it.
I'll out myself as somebody who I don't mind. I don't get in a tizzy as people do over his interpretation of DC characters. I don't mind Man of Steel, nor do I mind BVS, nor do I mind his 4-hour cut of fucking Justice League.
Have you seen his Rebel Moon series?
I only saw part 1. I haven't yet watched part 2. I'm just waiting for the.
pretty
I'm
much
just gonna
seen
wait
part
for the
2,
R-rated cut because I like. Yeah, and that's pretty much the reaction I've seen from everybody. Basically, is that right there. So
Yeah.
I'll just wait for the R-rated cut. But I'm a Superman fan. But I don't
If he
get hung
didn't
up
get
on-
it right the first time, what makes you think the second time is going to be any better? I mean, the 4 hours, the extra 2 hours for Justice League or Batman v Superman or any of those things did not improve the film.
But those were using some of the same shots. You don't understand. This time in his rated R version, the Snyder cut, it's all different takes of every single scene.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. I
Bam.
don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
bam.
Yeah.
There, I ruined it. Available on all of your social media platforms. Give them a like, follow them, go see them in concert.
What do you mean? BBS, the higher rated cut fixed everything. The shitty blood splatters and the few extra scenes that looked like shit, like pushing the one woman in the train in the subway. Like, I fixed all the issues. What do you mean, guys?
Well, you're talking visuals. Did it help some of the story to make a little bit to give it a little more cohesion?
It tried to, but then there were a lot of things in those extra scenes that also made no sense, so it added more questions on top of it.
Why didn't Superman put his hands over Zod's eyes?
Because it was shown earlier. If you paid attention to the movie, goddammit, Rosales, there was a scene where one of Zod's minions, the really tall guy, put his hand right over Superman's eyes, and when he blasted it with his heat vision, he had to take his hand away because it hurt. There you go, problem solved.
Oh yeah, he had to break his neck because Zod was unable to do this.
Well, yeah, dude, yeah, and those people who
even
were
if
stuck in that
BBS
corner
made sense,
with an
though.
Zod
obvious
was turning his head
to run away from.
Zod was turning his head going towards the innocents, and instead of turning his head, he could have just did this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't know that. He just got it. Like, look, man. He just
Zod
got his
didn't know
powers.
that?
What do you actually? He didn't know
Zod
that.
didn't know that?
He didn't. He just got his heat vision like 15 minutes prior. He didn't know how it worked, bro. He didn't. He didn't. And they didn't have time to write that in the script.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
They didn't have time to write. Okay.
I gotta get my Snyder Bro defenses up here.
Look,
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Listen, you asked. Okay, I'm being honest here and just saying I don't mind and don't get into a
I'm
tizzy
sorry,
over
it's
the movie.
just a poorly made film. Even if it made sense,
God.
it looks like the equivalent of a car commercial in a shit Bollywood film.
I don't know what you guys want from this guy or these movies that he made. You know, everybody will just make a good movie. Okay, well, what is a good movie? Because let's talk about what we've had in these comic book movies. Where do you want to go? Do you want to go mid-90s where they all sucked? Do we want to get another interpretation of Shaquille O'Neal's Steel? Do we want to have dark, moody movies like '89 Batman? Fine.
Kind of like a reimagination of Steel.
No, we don't. We absolutely don't. They said everything they needed to say with that movie.
Yeah, the same year we got
there.
Civil War. Was that not good?
Why don't you want a black superhero, Bob?
Why?
Yeah, it's a little suspicious.
Is it a little suspicious? All right, don't put me in the spot like this. I don't mind black superheroes. I do mind, however, taking a pro athlete basketball star with zero fucking acting skills and throwing him into a movie and being like, here, you're the lead. And the only help you're going to give this guy is Judd fucking Nelson, who did not give two shits and didn't help carry anything. So, no.
Bob,
and the
I'm
guy
gonna
who played
say this
Shaft was in that movie.
about Zack Snyder. So I don't think people. This is my synopsis. I don't think Zack Snyder is a bad person. I don't personally have anything against him. I think more people realistically don't like his fans because they believe anything this man produced
That is fair.
it is the Bible, is law, is everything. So I don't honestly think people don't. I think people could care less for Zack Snyder. I just think the fans are such fanatics, such zealots that they put this man on like he's a god or some sort of, and they believe that he created DC. So I that's my interpretation. I don't personally have anything against the man. I think it's okay.
In a recent interview, Zack Snyder did say he loves his fans because they get shit done.
Yeah, but he also said that you essentially, like, if you don't like Snyder films, you are all for these what do they call that when they take everyone into a room and get
meals. He said he basically called everything other than his films Happy Meals, and said that his fanboys get stuff done, which the things they do are very, very toxic, and so that's basically an endorsement of toxic behavior and tearing down other people's films because they're not Zack Snyder films.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
And while it
So
starts out with good intentions, this is what it turns into. And
And he
he is
endorses it.
definitely, he does. And he's part of the problem. He is
That's what we're saying.
100% part of the problem.
I think, but I think
Absolutely.
he endorses it because it gives him free advertisements. So of course he's gonna back these maniacs. Of
Yeah,
course,
but
if
that
you
only
have
works when the advertisement comes in, though. Like, nobody's watching Rebel
Rebel
Moon
Moon.
Part 2. And if they
But
are, they're like disgusted by it.
but I don't think it's just the fanboys that are toxic. Like if that's his mentality that like if you don't like what I am putting out, then you are all for focus groups. Like that's pretty toxic in itself. Like he is the one savior for the film industry.
It is because I mean
Yeah.
he is definitely a toxic person, and I would say I'm all for filmmakers having free reign and their visions being seen and stuff like that. That's fine. Do I need you to make your own separate cut of every movie you fucking direct? No. If that's your intention, then either fight for what you're fucking trying to do or tell the studio to fuck off that you're not going to make the movie then. If you're so like gung ho on this standing on your soapbox of artist integrity and what my vision needs to be seen, then okay, man, then stand up for it. Stop bending your knee to get your way to where, well, I'll make you this movie, but only if I can then have this movie. Thank God he
Well,
got signed with Netflix,
I
because
hear what you're
Netflix is
saying,
the company that's will just say yes to pretty much anyone and everything. So,
I
and that's a
I hear what
problem
you're
in and of
saying,
itself.
but what if and this certainly definitely applies to some place like Netflix or where it's going to primarily or initially be on a streaming service. But what if you had a studio that was very concerned about like the run times in theaters, right? And so I'll have a cut for the theaters, and then I'll have a cut for the DVD crowd or slash streaming crowd, where the runtime isn't an issue.
I guess, but I mean, at the same time, though, I mean, and I can only go off of my personal feeling. Like, I don't mind sitting in a theater for long movies if the movie's good. I don't care.
But yeah,
That
but the
that
theaters
doesn't bother me.
mind because it gets them less.
So
Because if you have like a 90-minute, if every movie was 90 minutes, then they could run instead of like
sure.
2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours.
Oh, I get
They
it.
can
Yeah,
run more showings.
more showings, more money. Absolutely, I understand that. I get that point. I guess it.
Can I interject real quick? The
You
only
most certainly
way,
can.
just really quick, the only way 90-minute movies could work is if they gave you an intermission, which they don't. If they said, okay, you guys, you got 15, 10 minutes to stretch, or well, let's say just say 10 minutes to go to the get concession, go use the bathroom. I think it could work, but they're never going to do that because that would mean you would have to increase the hours of business for movie theaters, and that of course if you're doing that for other movies, that's going to increase the time, other things are going to increase as well. So me
For wait,
personally,
wait,
just break it up
what do
into
you
two
mean?
parts, because the
Uh,
thing is, right, let's
for
say
movies longer than 90 minutes?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, for movies long as that 90 minutes, I need to get up at least. I need to go piss.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to go get some food. If I'm gonna be there for 4 hours, give me 10 minutes at least to go stretch, get some popcorn, use the
They used to
Mm,
do
bathroom.
that.
Honestly,
Yeah,
the thing is, they might need longer than that if they try to do intermissions these
me,
days, because I think the crowds, like at a lot of showings, would be too large. It would take ages to get by.
yeah, exactly. Or just what Cole,
I,
you
I
might
need to
even have to go
buy
longer.
I need to buy a large drink, a popcorn, a couple of hot dogs, two sets of Depends. I'm seeing a Zack Snyder film, and we'll be sitting for a while, and sometimes I get cold, but then I can be warm up again. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting
So
going to be warm.
I guess then with that though, this is what confuses me. Were either of
Fuck.
these PG-13 Part 1 and Part 2s released in theaters at all? Did they have a theater run at any point? Or are they just exclusively Netflix streaming?
Wait,
They're exclusively not
Rebel
being
Moon,
watched on
yeah,
Netflix.
Rebel Moon
Yeah.
Part One had like a very limited release, but nothing for
Okay.
Part Two.
So
Yeah,
then
they
I
learned their
guess
lesson.
so then my question really would be then
well,
what
no,
was
they
the
had some
point?
private screenings for it.
Okay, fine. Private
Or they
screenings.
paid some
But
people.
it didn't get an actual like a wide release to where I could go down to my local Regal and buy a ticket to see Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2. So You made PG-13 movies on a streaming service for who? For who? Nobody's getting
The
carded
world.
going to watching Rebel Moon. You know what I'm saying? What does it matter? So why did we waste all this time making three different movies, really?
Well, think about it. They get 4 movies out of this, and they only had to pay production and actors for one set of them. It kind of makes sense. I mean, they got to pay Snyder and his editor
It's
more,
just
but
name. They're only using this guy for his name. Like
6 movies because they're gonna do a black and white version once the other 2 fail.
it's only his
how
name. Like
artsy.
I mean, the only way this man, well, again, I don't have an issue with the guy, but I guarantee if by some miracle, right, this is a miracle that Netflix gets their hands on his Justice League movie, I guarantee all the fanatics, all the basement dwellers, all the zit right in the middle of your head is gonna come back and be like, "I love you, Snyder, Zack Snyder for life."
Mm,
Oh! Like that's that's gonna be them. So that's what
yeah.
Netflix must be holding out for, because I mean, th- these people literally have shrines built for Zack Snyder's Justice League,
Oh,
literally.
you're right. I mean, these people do, and it's you know when all that stuff stirred up in the beginning about, oh, there's a Snyder cut. Listen, I was more than vocal about. I do want to see it. I wanted to see it. I want to see what this movie was supposed to be. I was all for it. After the fucking thing came out and I watched it and I got my enjoyment out of it and I go, okay, now I saw what the guy wanted to do. That's great. Let's move on. And then you have people that are still to this day that can't move on from that. Sell it to Netflix, sell it to and like this is how dumb that part of the fan base is they think because the movie's called Zack Snyder's Justice League and his name is up there, that for some reason he must own that IP and those characters are his because, you just take it to Netflix. You're already there. They'll make it for you. So people don't even have a simple common sense understanding of how an IP or how, a company like Warner who owns DC, which owns the IP, which owns Superman, Batman, and all them, works. So it's so hard trying to have any sort of a real conversation with mostly people of his fan base about his movies because when you do have a critique or say, look, man, this really isn't good, you know, constant, self masturbatory slow mo shots over and over and over and over again, while they might look cool for a second, they get tiresome. And like you said, Warren, those his people don't want to hear that because, like you said, they think the guy's a god, that he's the blueprint for all of this.
I know a little
Everything forward is
something
his.
about having a robust fan base. There's lots of people out there that love the Snyder. They call him Zach. They love him.
Yeah.
They're fans. Some are good, some are bad. There's good and bad on both sides. Some of them
Sure.
are a bit toxic. They call them the toxic Snyder fans. Maybe a stan, if you will.
Hmm.
But not all of them are good, and not all of them are bad. And some of them actually have money. Some of them hold jobs, contribute to society. We like those. They're good people. They
Sure.
pay money. They would even buy this if it was on DVD.
No.
But it's not a good film.
No, they didn't even renew their fucking Netflix subscription when Rebel Moon was coming out, so it don't even matter. It don't even matter because not even the people that are, pushed for this guy's cut of Justice League to come out, not many of them are pushing for you to watch Rebel Moon, and that's the thing. That's the big problem. Nobody's moved on where this guy has moved on. And it stifles everything, and it does nothing but make it just puts a big generalization over his fan base, which is
And it keeps
bad
him
for us.
relevant for no reason as well.
Yes, because it's not that the filmmaking he's doing is visionary. They used to use that marketing after 300, or yeah, after 300, when Watchmen was coming up, from the visionary director of 300. Now I don't think anything he's done recently has been visionary at all, or had really any vision to it. Again, I'll throw myself under the bus and admit are there things that I like in Man of Steel? Absolutely. There's a lot of things that I loved as a Superman fan that I've been dying to see since I was 5 years old when I first got sat down and watched the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. There's things that he put in there that I enjoy. Do I care that thousands of people died from just careless collateral damage? No, not really, because I would hope that people died when superhuman beings are just recklessly throwing themselves through buildings without care at all. That's fine. Um, did I care that he broke Zod's neck? No, not really. Didn't bother me at all. Fine. Um, did I care that he was kind of mopey and BVS? Yeah, that's not really the Superman I wanted to see. But again, he does things good in certain aspects. The writing, however, when he gets to put pen to paper, that is not one of them. And I think Rebel Moon, just the first part that I watched, was way proof of that. The dialogue was shit. Everything in that was shit. And now that Rebel Moon's sitting at, what is it, a 12, 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, people really just need to be realistic. You can like the guy, you can like the movies he makes, you can like anything about him. But the simple fact is, in reality, is that when shit sucks, it sucks. And you should be able to say that and have that conversation. And I'll stop rambling now.
Did he? Only one question I had. Did he ever?
I'm being played out.
Did he ever? Finish
Where's the hook?
series?
What was that, Warren? I'm sorry.
I took the most of the vocals out.
Oh, did he ever finish his 300 series?
No, it's not his. So no, they didn't let him come back to it.
He needs to direct that.
Yeah, there was a sequel that got passed off to another guy, I believe, who tried doing the same visual style.
Oh yeah, that was.
And
terrible.
it was, yeah, like, no, don't try and copy anything that anybody else is doing when you have no clue of what it is they're doing.
Yeah.
Even the guy who did it to begin
Especially
with didn't have a
Snyder.
clue what he was doing.
It was also Frank Miller had a lot to do with
Yeah,
that first 300 as well. So
Yes.
it's not all him. Let's let
Yes.
76 say a few things that she was told to by her man about Zack
What?
Snyder.
What does he say about? Does anybody know his feelings on Zack Snyder? Because I don't.
Yes, he loves him.
I mean, he
biggest
doesn't
fan.
You're a liar, Bob.
BVS.
Okay, so he hates him. Thank
basically-
you. No, you guys, I'm going to do the
Well,
opposite.
he
You guys are liars and trying to get me in trouble.
Yes.
So okay. Apparently he hates Zack
Jesus Christ.
Snyder.
No,
so
he said he
therefore-
made a video on this. He said BVS sucks as a Batman film, but he doesn't hate the film itself.
Well, I don't watch most of his things because half the time he tells me not to watch it because they're about movies that I like. Like the
I've only
Menu.
seen the one video about Barbie.
No, I like the Menu, and he was not happy with the Menu at all. He's very
Well-
angry at it.
Is he a vegan?
Well,
Wait,
he's
who wrote the
wrong.
menu?
No, he didn't. He hated it. He went on an hour-long rant, and that was like the one that was offline. That was the one you guys didn't
Wait.
get to see.
I like the menu. Actually,
I do
thought-
too. I know. I don't know what his trip is.
Yeah. Well,
I don't
who
know.
knows?
Then he doesn't like. He doesn't like. That's not true. He liked. What's that movie with the aliens? Cole, what was that movie with the aliens and the puppets? And it's like from the 90s or something.
Puppet Master?
No, it's like
Oh,
Invaders, Space
right.
Invaders.
Yes,
No.
Space Invaders, right? Yeah.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes, he liked the tomato movie.
No,
Oh,
Wait, hold on, that's a different thing.
Tomatoes. Attack of the
Yeah.
Killer
Oh, yeah,
Tomatoes.
Killer Tomatoes?
Yeah, but he doesn't like it when I call it the tomato movie, so I always call it the tomato movie.
Well, we were about to say bye to Fox Drew because he's got something he's got to take care of, but and he wishes us to have a great day.
Bye, Fox.
And
Yeah.
you know, we enjoyed having you here while you were here. So thanks for hanging out with us and enduring this. Gray, what are the final thoughts on Pa Kent?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm kind of excited. Sorry, dog issue again. I'm kind of excited to see what it could be. You know, I didn't think that Costner would necessarily be the best one, but I didn't hate that choice. He seems like a good actor, so I'll definitely be open to seeing his performance. I'm not really that freaked out by it. It makes sense. It seems like less of a stunt casting than like putting Costner in there, but yeah, I guess I'd like to see it. I'm withholding judgment. You know, I'm hoping to really like this. Gunn has kind of surprised me with a bunch of his things that I thought would not be good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I don't know if this all rests on that casting. I kind of want to see the Superman casting a little bit more. But yeah, and then the Sweeney thing, that casting excites me a little bit more.
Speaking of things people want to see, there was a quick rumor about Sydney Sweeney and the new Spider-Man 4. All rumors, so it's none of it's been verified at all. So this it didn't look like a Forbes AI writing this time around.
No.
But Sydney Sweeney, there she is, has a couple of rumors out. And
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah,
says
she's
here,
good.
now we have a pair of rumors about Spider Man 4 that have many fans excited, but the sourcing is debatable, with the originators getting some things both right and wrong in the past. So let's see. The first rumor via World of Real is that Sam Raimi is a top contender to direct Spider Man 4. Obviously, the director of the Tobey Maguire era movies and recent MCU helmer of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Somewhat divisive film. But then again, he did come in at the end to finish what other people had started. The other one, doesn't say what the other one is. What is it? A second rumor is that Sydney
Oh my God.
Sweeney. All right. Who infected we with MSK? Sydney
I'm sorry,
Sweeney.
I was about to say if one of the rumors is from my time to shine, hello, I'm gonna die of laughter, and then it was this guy is notorious for just doing nothing but spreading fake rumors 24/7, and people still buy his shit. He's never been right.
Oh my goodness. So yeah. So after failing with Sony's Superman, not Superman, Spider-Man, I do have MSK. My goodness. I'm gonna have a fever later. It's an unconfirmed that she will be in Spider-Man 4, possibly as Black Cat or a non-MJ love interest, maybe even Gwen Stacy. So I can see why they were distracted by the source of the rumors and how they would want her to be in a good superhero movie, but I don't think that Marvel has yet to double dip when it comes to Sony superhero films and MCU superhero films. I could be mistaken, and Cole, if I am, you would go ahead and call me out on that. But what do you think, Cole? Let's start with you.
Oh, on this, yeah, it's total BS. Again, the guy is notorious for doing nothing but faking rumors. Yeah, this isn't true, and yeah, I don't think they want anything to do with a lot of actors from the Sonyverse anyway. Yeah, it's hilarious how this blew up and how people are still taking shit from these accounts seriously. It's really funny how they don't check their sources, but yeah, I mean,
I think
now,
Forbes
would
has
it
got an
be
issue with their
though,
sources this week, at least.
No, I mean, if I, okay, well, that aside, would it be a good fit, if it did happen, in my opinion? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would be the worst fit, but I mean, has Sydney Sweeney ever had any good performances in a film before? Not really. So
I've seen a couple of good performances.
I mean, does Euphoria not count?
I don't really watch that shit show. I'm sorry.
Did you see Madam Web?
Oh yeah, that was masterful, right? Yeah.
I mean, well, that's
Gotta say,
what
she's
I
one of the
heard.
best things in the movie.
Really?
No one's going to say she's got her good points.
Not in
Oh, yeah,
that
she
movie.
has
A couple of them.
Well, if she plays Black
Mhm.
Cat, she'd
You.
be a mean cat, if you get where I'm coming from.
Oh.
I'm going to keep it PG-13. It starts with a P,
I mean,
and it's a little sussy. So
I didn't see anything in Madam Web that would make me want to see her in any other Marvel Sony film ever again. Like
Nothing.
nothing. No,
Nothing.
no, no. She could listen. She could do her next movie completely. She could be in Spider-Man 4, and she could be completely naked for the whole movie. I really don't care at this point. Like you ruined yourself by being in that shit movie with Madam Web, and
Wait,
there's
like,
no.
well, I don't think you should blame her for that. Because think about it this way,
Don't
right?
blame her for who. How do we
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
like?
whoa! Hear me out. Hear me out first. Hear me out
Okay,
before you
go
decide
ahead.
to, throw me off a roof. Okay. All right. I'm saying if everybody, most people nowadays, actors are grabbing at no matter if it's DC or Marvel, at a movie in the Marvel universe in some way or fashion. Maybe they thought that this was a good script and they went with it. I'm not saying she's not partly to blame, but she's just doing what she's being directed to do and being and written from in the script. She didn't create the movie. She didn't write the script. She's just, her job is as an actress. Like, so if the dialogue's terrible, if the directing looks bad, if the visual, that's all on them. I mean, like, and I think even other actors have come out and who's been a part of a bad movie and said, "Hey, this shit was bad. Sorry, this stuff was bad. But I did it at the time. Like, I'm sure she's gonna come out and say, "Hey, I did it at the time because it was a Marvel project of some sorts."
Well, she did admit that she did it because she wanted to make connections in Sony to get other roles, and that actually did come to fruition. But I do think she only had two responsibilities in the Madam Web film: to show up on time and learn her lines. I don't know where your mind's at, but
Exactly. Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, I get your point, Warren, but isn't there? Don't we have? I mean, I know personal responsibility isn't that cool of a thing to do in 2024, but I mean, read the script. Read
Yeah,
it.
but
Don't
she
just
doesn't write
say
the script though.
you don't know, but you're telling me as an actor and actress, you can't make a judgment on based on what you're reading that geez, this really isn't this doesn't look all that well. Like
Again,
you can't tell me the script was
I'm sure
phenomenal and
she
then when
did.
it got to the time to shoot, it was
A lot
ruined
of
by the
people have
director.
mortgage payments.
I'm
I get
sure she did, Bob. I'm
then
saying that, like, look, Robert Downey Jr. set a precedence that if you're in in the Marvel movie, and if I'm trying to think, DC hasn't been consistent, so I can't really name someone. That if you perform well, if you're in one of these movies, you're on for these long, crazy long contracts, can be thrown into a show, can be thrown into a cartoon, do voice acting for Marvel. So even if this movie turns out, well, it did turn out terrible, she knows that at some point they could put her in a multiverse movie or an alternate reality movie or whatever, or Spider-Man movie in the future. I'm sure she thought it was bad. I'm sorry. Even Cole, everybody on this panel know that I was like, this is stupid. This is just Sony trying to hold on to the Spider-Man characters. That's
sure,
all this
absolutely.
was, and it's
Yeah,
stupid. They wanted to do an El Juanito, this wrestler that's a Spider-Man, supposedly a Spider-Man villain. This guy's like a D tier at best. That's like, why are you doing a wrestling supervillain story for a guy like, nobody cares about, they care about the main rogues of Spider-Man. So it's like,
Maybe they wanted to build on the Amazonian wicker Spider-Man.
yeah. The
no.
Wicker people.
So this is also Sony's fault in just not saying, "Hey, let's come up with a deal with Disney and let's collaborate like we did and make movies together and figure out how we share the profits." Uh, I mean, I don't think she's the greatest actress. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm not simple for that woman. I mean, if she if she came in front of my lap, I'm gonna give it to her. But I'm just saying. That you are right, Bob. I'm sure she read it, but when you're part of comic book movies, like, look at Cena, John Cena. Look at him in Peacemaker now. He
I
has
can't see
he
Yes,
him. I can't
but
see him.
now,
exactly.
but
I
again
see what
though,
you did there.
if even if for if but using that example, Peacemaker, if the show is written horribly, horribly. then it's not going to succeed. So again, even with Robert Downey Jr. in the first Iron Man, if even though he's in it, just because he's in it and just because he participates, the movie still has to be good. It has to have some quality to it. Madam
I
Web had
agree.
zero,
I agree
zero.
with you. I'm not disagreeing with you, but like take for instance Chris Evans, right? He starred in the Fantastic Four as Johnny Storm. Comes
Yes,
back later as Captain America. That was a
yes,
I mean it can happen. I'm just saying that let's like some of the blame needs to go to Sony for even producing this film. This film should have never
yeah.
even been made.
It had to be made contractually.
Yeah, contractually it had to be made, and that's all. And they keep doing. They so far the only thing that they've been able to get a decent hit off is Venom. Morbius failed. I don't even know how Craven's gonna do because
That's
that's
gonna
supposed.
fail.
That's
It's
probably
gonna
gonna
fail.
fail. And Madam Web failed. So they're just holding on to these Spider-Man villains because that's the only thing they got.
Oh, you're
Uh,
100% correct there. I just think that there has to be a split on the blame. And while more of the blame definitely does go towards the studio for coming up with this bullshit, I I myself I gotta blame people who were actually involved in the making of it too, because you know all them actresses. I get it. Maybe you were under the impression that this is maybe they thought this was a real Marvel movie at first. Just being helped by Sony. Maybe they accepted these deals under false pretenses. That's all fine, and I can accept all that. However, and I get people need to pay their mortgage. That's fine. And there's plenty of people who take acting roles for that purpose, knowing that the movie's probably going to be shit. But they're vocal about it and they're honest about it. And they tell you, I took this movie to buy my mom a house, to pay off my car, whatever. So, but to just, give me that, well, aw shucks, it just happened to suck. No, you, and I get you could only do what you're directed to do, but come on, I still put some of the blame on the actors. You accepted the role. I hope you read the script. If you just had your agent do it and say, "Well, it's Marvel, you should take this," and you just did, that's on you. There has to be some responsibility shared with the actors and actresses that participated in this absolute dumpster fire of a film.
and
Well, fortunately, there wasn't a great big crowd of people who saw it happen, so I think a lot of people can ignore it.
No, but I had to watch it, so that's
I
what pisses me off about it, is that I had to sit through that shit and literally, I'm glad I didn't pay for it. That's the first thing is like, thank God. I don't even know if movie theaters would give you your money back nowadays if you say,
no.
if you complain. So I'm glad that that I didn't have to fork over any doll hairs for that because
Well, I will say
oh
I
well.
do agree with pretty much 90% of what you said. But these actors, hopefully, I mean, me personally, I just want good comic book movies.
Yeah.
We movies like Godzilla, Empire is hopeful that people just get a good movie, come out and enjoying it. That's what the rate, and if we
Wait,
can
what?
keep like Godzilla and Kong Empire, they did doing pretty decently. I'm not saying it's a great. It's not.
Yeah, yeah. Where's the good film?
Oh Lord, here's Cole again being Scorsese. Okay, okay,
Well, it
okay.
has a very classic scene where you get introduced to the baby monkey. It's great. That will forever be burned into my mind. Monkey Glove movie for the win.
So so I mean, I was there.
I'd
I'm
rather
there
watch
for
Planet of the Apes.
I'm there for the kaiju movie. So I mean, I'm can't wait for Planet of the Apes. Let's just all I'm saying is that comic book movies aren't here to go, and if you can get your name in something, heck, I listen. I wouldn't be surprised if someone wanted to do, I don't know, another Catwoman movie soon. Meow,
No.
like I, like or a Nightwing movie, like or I don't know. I'm trying to think of other There's like other characters that should be used in other series that could be potential. Like that's longevity on contracts because it's like, well, this character is always used somehow, some way in this universe, so I know I have a guaranteed role as long as I shut my mouth and do my job. So yes, I think she is to blame because she took the role, but she knows I could be slotted in somewhere in the potential future.
I mean that's
Yeah, and
definitely
supposedly
fair.
it added a lot to her being able to do Immaculate, like the movie that is getting more praise than Madam Web did. So supposedly it helped her to the next role, but I don't know. It's kind of
Artificial praise, yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I've worked a whole bunch of crappy jobs. I know I worked for what I was told was a call center for like charities. Essentially, like we'd ask for more donations. I'm pretty sure it was a scam. Like it really sucks, but sometimes you're in desperate need, and you got to take a job. I don't know. I'm of two minds because I've taken some really horrible jobs for some really shady people. I worked for Walmart at one point. Like the company I worked for got bought out by them, but I stayed. So it's like, I don't know. I don't feel great about that. I don't know. It's weird. I could definitely see taking an acting role to just, okay, let's get one more credit on here, and then I'll be able to do something I actually care for in the future. I'm of kind of two minds on it. It sucks.
If she had a choice between doing a role in Madam Web or taking a meeting with Harvey Weinstein, I think she would have taken the role with Madam Web.
Fuck, I would have took the meeting with Harvey Weinstein. You're almost guaranteed an Oscar.
Is that what you like to call it these days, Bob?
Listen, you're gonna tell me the little bit of inconvenience you have to put up with Harvey isn't worth the Oscar as compared to the bullshit you had to deal with on the Madam Web set. Are you kidding me? Like that's not even a choice.
Yeah, Bob's like,
Harvey,
I'll
take
suck
Harvey
both
showed
those
up at the
dicks
door in
for
his
an
robe all
Oscar.
day.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, only one's on camera.
Jesus.
Little inconvenience. Oh my goodness. How do you know how little?
I tried to make it in Hollywood, but it didn't work out. And I was open to everything.
Definitely
They
little,
still
yeah.
don't want me.
You want an Oscar? I'll give you an Oscar.
Yeah,
My
I got a little
goodness.
statue here for you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, her being in a new Spider-Man movie isn't attracting me to the theater anytime soon. That's just me. I don't care how good she looks. I don't care how big her boobs are. Like her.
No, it's a bad rumor. I don't think either rumor is going to be played out to be absolutely true.
I mean, do you think that's true with the Raimi thing too? Do you think that?
No,
do you think he's
I don't think so at all. I don't think they're anywhere near close to figuring out exactly what they want to do with the movies either. Disney and Sony are about this far apart when it comes to figuring out how they're going to move forward with Spider-Man. And
is this Holland's last one, or is he contractually obligated for more?
No, he's contracted for more.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But those contracts are with Sony.
40s?
Those contracts are with Sony, and he doesn't want to work with Sony without Marvel. And that's the problem that they're having, is that they're not able to meet together.
Thank you. At least somebody agrees with me. I'll take Harvey Weinstein over that fucking.
They're going to complain and rat you out, wine and dine.
I don't want to wine and dine with. I'm okay. What? Hey, you know what? Since we got that little chuckle, what about you, 76? What do you think about it?
Oh, I didn't watch Madam Web. Are you kidding? That's for you guys to have to watch. You guys suffer. I don't have to do that. I'm not the comic fan here.
You should watch it. Hilarious.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, let's get the backhand ready, guys. Okay.
Anybody?
Why should I have to suffer through the terrible movies? I already said on my channel that I was only going to pick movies that I like. You can ask Cole. I refuse to let him pick any of our movies. I only pick movies that I like for the reviews.
Wow.
Oh, so you don't support all women?
Okay, that's true. However, you should watch this, because it's about female empowerment. It does such a good job.
I don't care about female empowerment. If I cared about female empowerment, I wouldn't be losing all my followers that are feminists. Keep dropping, they keep ditching me because they're like, "What? You're not a feminist?" I'm not following you. I'm like, well, I don't know why you thought I was.
They're ditching me because you didn't see Madam Web.
It's multicultural. There's different types of ethnicities in that movie. So.
Oh yeah, they ticked all the boxes. Absolutely.
Yeah, it has great messages.
I said I'm not watching the movie. You don't have to convince me further not to watch it.
you might get a role. Who knows?
I don't think I'm the type of woman that they want in this kind of.
Hack it out, man. Hack it out. That's what I sounded like
I
all
liked
day
the first
yesterday.
one, Joker. I liked your first version of Wine and Dine. I think that was more accurate.
Man, get off me. Man, get off me. Yeah. That's the Harvey Wine. That's the wine.
Yeah, everybody's got to remember there's a difference
Not
between
again.
no
Not
Harvey
again.
stop
Meh, meh,
and
meh,
no
meh.
Harvey stop.
Well, Rosales, I want to ask you, like,
No
what do
means
you,
no.
what, what do you think? I mean, overall, Sydney Sweeney, like, I know she's not the greatest actress, but overall, do you think that this is going to be a detriment to her career? Is she going to be okay? I mean, let's put the rumors aside. Does this, like, really affect her that bad?
I think not.
No.
She was bragging about how she made a connection and got a role in a different kind of movie. So, and this was in an interview. She was not at all like the other people that were promoting this film. You know, the other actresses were like, "Well, if you hate this movie, it's because you hate women," or you know, that sort of thing. And she's like, "Hey, you know, I was here to make connections. I did my part, and I moved on. It's not really a big deal. Plus, I met somebody who I could make this film with. Blah blah blah. Whatever that was. I wasn't paying attention. So, and I'd never seen Euphoria. I didn't know where she came from out of all of this stuff. You know, I knew about Dora the Explorer because kids, and I knew about the Dakota because of who her parents are.
Yep.
So, Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith, Cherry 2000.
Apparently, acting talent doesn't
So.
get passed down.
Apparently it did.
Did it?
Yeah. I mean, because she comes from Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith. So.
Are you making a disparaging remark about Don Johnson?
He sucks as an actor. How about that?
Did you not see him in Django Unchained? Brilliant performance.
I did. They wrote that around who he is.
Exactly, which is why he's a great actor, because there was no acting involved. All right, Big Daddy.
Oh yeah, she'll probably do that soon, I'm sure. Yeah.
I've never heard someone laugh harder at their own joke, Bob.
Sorry, I said that, and then I'm just thinking about the whole scene going through my head.
Wait, hang on. I got this for you, Bob. I got your back.
Thank you.
Where's the clip, Rosales? I thought you had his back.
It's coming.
Did
He's
that
got
play?
my back. Wait, no, it didn't. We're sitting here.
Did that play? That didn't play? You didn't?
Well, maybe you have to take off Joker's comment first.
Oh,
There's your laugh.
I'm doing a trust fall, and I didn't get caught.
Well, it's too late for the joke now, Rosales. You blew it.
Did that come through? No?
Nothing came through.
No? Oh, bummers.
Damn, just leaving me hanging out here.
Cool difficulties.
Wait, so who's starting an OnlyFans now? Sweeney?
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney is once her acting career.
Yeah, it's called Only Armpits.
What the heck? No, me and Jaded said that if I ever, I would have one, but it would just be him behind the screen saying, "You ain't seen it."
Oh yeah.
Well, you don't want to show your.
If I ever started one, it would just be photos of fans.
No? Bummer. Okay.
The Vans?
Hands.
Fans.
Fans?
Sorry.
Who?
Fans? Oh,
Oh, like real
you should do like palm fans, like
76. Who wouldn't like to see long strands of hair out of your armpits, sweaty and?
Oh, that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Oh god. At least there are women when they do that braid it and dye it pretty colors. Okay, at least you're gonna be that gross.
That does not make it.
Wait, did they do that? Fuck.
Yes. But why do you think I'm not a feminist? Because back in 2015, that's all they were doing was weird stuff like that, and I was like, oh my god, you guys are unhinged.
Their mothers did that in the 70s.
To the unhingedness. Did no one else? Was anybody else alive during that
Yeah,
time?
I don't even think feminists did that.
No, they did back in 2015 and 16. Yeah, in 16 it was a big trend for feminists to grow their hair, braid it, and then dye it.
I'm sure.
That's gross.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was
sure
gross.
they
They did other
did, but
grosser
could
things,
you
but
really
I
call
couldn't
them
say it here.
feminists at that point? I think that's just like insanity.
They did
Instead,
things with
wouldn't even call
painting
them
and
feminists.
making bread, and I'll just leave it at that. to your imaginations. Okay.
I already know where you're going.
Yeah, right.
Shut
the
up.
shit with right.
Hang on a
Yeah.
second. Hang on a second.
Yes, with what they did with their.
Yeah.
Hang on one second, just real quick. I sent you a link. Come say that to my face, Joker.
Yeah, Miami Vice is awesome. Miami Vice is amazing.
Well, I'm while we do this, I'm gonna order some Mexican food. I'm just hungry.
Order me a pizza.
Nope.
That is cultural appropriation.
You
One.
can find bread and
Are you
water in your
Mexican?
refrigerator.
Can't order their food.
Joker says, "Thank you, 1776." Yes, they did, and it was weird. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Joker. They
Yeah.
did. It was
Yes.
wrong, and it was disgusting, and it was disturbing, and it was like, oh my God, it was so like they're like they never want to talk about the one thing that you do that is amazing, which is have a child. But instead, they were using it for arts and crafts. I'm just going, what is wrong with you people?
Listen to
Yeah,
these women.
there was one feminist who like went viral from doing that with her blood, and then I found out months later that she actually used to be like friends with one of my best friends, and he told me, I was like, "What the fuck happened to her?" He was just like, "Oh yeah, she did a bunch of drugs and then became a hippie." It's like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, well now that's starting to make sense because I'm seeing, okay, if these people are doing drugs, maybe that's why their brain was so like rotted.
No, don't give a bad name to drugs. The drugs didn't do that. They were already mentally deficient before drugs. Don't blame drugs.
Probably,
don't give
yeah.
drugs a bad name. Don't do that.
Joker says, and you all call me crazy. These ladies did things that even I won't do.
Come say that to my face.
Like Star and Madam Web. That's definitely something Joker wouldn't have done. Nobody with a working set of eyes that could read should have done that, but yet here we are. And here this chick is being rumored to be in a new Spider-Man movie.
Not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I hope not. I really hope not. I
Yeah.
can't stand this place anymore. This is where we're at.
You don't have to hope. It's not happening with who reported on it.
I mean, we say that, but like these movie studios, like you just don't know. I mean, we got a fucking Barbie movie for Christ's sakes. Like, nothing's out of the realm of possibility. Damn it, I'm being played off again.
Take a hit, Bob.
The entertainment. This is entertainment music. You're talking about movie studios, so it's a perfect backdrop. Please continue.
No, I just feel like one of them shitty actors at the Oscars who just went way over their speech time, and now it's just, here comes the music to try and hurry up and get this fucking guy out of here.
Hey, has anybody ever had to be like pulled off the stage at the Oscars?
Just that guy who was running around naked.
I think.
Wait, didn't they pull Brando's
I think there were
Indian
a couple
lady?
times.
Didn't somebody have to come out and get her off there? The
No,
fake Indian that went
no,
up there?
she left on her own, but she
Oh,
also
did they?
wasn't Native American or Indian. It's
No,
proven that she was actually Mexican and lied about that her whole life.
Yeah. Fucking Brando, what an asshole, bro.
It was Elizabeth Warren?
Yeah, I mean, I know.
Yeah, he hired Elizabeth Warren to go up and make a speech for her.
I mean, I know Tom Green when Tom Green won the Razzie for Freddy Got Fingered, he purposely did. I don't know if it was recorded, but he purposely showed up and then did the speech for like 15 minutes or 30 minutes until they forced him out.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Nice transition there.
I know people watches Freddy Got Fingered. Oh.
No, my tape broke. So. But hey, those were the topics for the day. So yeah, we covered everything. We did the AI music. We talked about Vinny Mac. Oh, we didn't talk about Tony Schiavone.
Oh, we got to talk about that liar.
Oh, yeah.
That fucking liar.
Let's see.
Now, you want to talk about somebody who's doing something to pay a mortgage?
The one slide. Yeah, Tony Schiavone. I don't even have a thing for. Man, I've missed. There's always one. There's always one that I miss. All right. Where did it go?
It's not almost one because we got it.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
hitting it now.
We're in it now,
Better late than never.
just like 76.
Tony Schiavone, after witnessing the CM Punk footage, wound up putting his head down towards the desk. Everybody on the internet exploded, wondering whether or not Tony Schiavone was embarrassed to be a part of AEW at this point and was watching a ship sink like he saw with WCW back in the day against WWE. However, Tony Schiavone has now come out and said that everybody on the internet is wrong. That he was playing his part to show the heels, show the Young Bucks as heels and not at all embarrassed. And if you think that this is anything like WCW back in the day, well, you weren't there and you're an idiot. This is what Tony Schiavone said about what happened. My timing's getting better. Wow. So, Bob, you don't think he's telling the truth, do you?
No, I don't think he's telling the truth at all. So I guess these things, maybe one of these two things could be true. He was actually really embarrassed by what was shown by the Young Bucks, or he's the greatest fucking actor to ever live, because his body language before that video was shown and then his body language after that video was shown are not that of somebody who's trying to make people look like heels. It is that of true embarrassment and PTSD from what he actually had to go through at WCW in the 2000 in 2000. This is my belief that he's a guy that's working to pay the mortgage right now. And I think that he could see that paycheck isn't going to last too much longer at the rate they're going. So I think he's just being the company guy here, saying what he has to say. But he's not selling anybody on this at all. Like I'm not sold. There's no way you don't feel embarrassment here. Because that video they showed didn't help them in any way. They tried tying it into an angle that they're going into with their next tag opponents there. I can't even remember their names because I don't even care. And it didn't do any of that. It is embarrassing. I got secondhand embarrassment watching it. And I didn't see the clip of him with his head in his hands until much later. So if I was embarrassed just sitting here watching it, then I know that guy was 100% embarrassed from having to sit there, promo that, talk about it, and realize what these two fucking idiots who are showing this video are doing, which is not helping the company, not getting anybody over, including themselves. In fact, if anybody got over in that whole thing, it was actually CM Punk more than anybody else. So he's a fucking liar. This is WCW 2000 all over again. And Tony, I was there. I witnessed that. I grew up through that. I sat and watched every week and every pay-per-view. And we're going down the same road. Not only are we going down the same road, but we're like steamrolling down the road. We're trying to get there quicker than WCW did. So it was a good attempt, Tony, but not working.
Well, Gray Poupée, how did you feel about it?
I really only saw the video here and everything, so I don't know. It definitely didn't look like acting to me, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I would trust your guys' opinion on it a little bit more than mine, but yeah, I thought I saw real shame there, but maybe I'm wrong.
76, what did you think about Tony Schiavone backing down on his acting abilities or doubling down on his acting abilities?
Oh,
Do you think he's trying to same face with Tony Khan, or do you think maybe he's actually telling the truth?
I don't know who that is.
Even better. That shows. Even.
Which one's the right answer? Just whatever the right answer, I'll go with that.
He's a liar.
This has been Sports Talk with Women.
With women.
Oh, he's in sports? I thought you said he was an actor.
Well, wrestling is acting, so I guess so.
He's trying to be an actor, that's for sure. Not working. Not working. I've seen better acting than Madam Web.
Cole, how do you feel? Awesome.
I feel like somebody was holding a gun against his head.
Yeah, he did. There was somebody off screen with a gun pointed right at him. And I think it was Tony Khan.
He was on a
Sat there.
podcast.
Yeah.
There's lots of people standing around with guns.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
All aimed at
podcasts
him.
work. Warren?
I mean, that sounds like a PR/collateral. They're trying to save face to me. I saw the video because you showed it on Twitter. And also it could also be just a way of egging people on and saying, to draw more attention to it. Bad press is good press, as they say. So if he could be just doing that as an act to make more people get interested and other stuff. So because you never know these days. Every time you think something is real, it's staged. So I'm not saying the guys need to get a Grammy, an Emmy, and an Oscar. I'm just saying that just it could be. So we'll see how it plays out as it goes. But that's just my opinion. Things aren't as when it comes to entertainment. Even if it's scripted, it's not scripted. I mean, even if it's scripted, rather. I'm sorry. Even if it's unscripted, it's scripted. So that's where I'm gonna leave it at.
Okay, all right. So that's how we all feel about Tony Schiavone. Either he's playing it down or he is being forced to say the things that he says. Miss 76 says, okay, sounds good. All right. So I guess that's that, guys. We covered about everything here. Next Sunday, we're going to be talking about the Golden Axe animated series. We will be talking about Aliens versus Avengers comic book. Netflix possibly using AI in its documentaries. Sony's new interest in Paramount, and the Transformers 1 trailer. And since we're looking at this right now, we know that it's now, once again, promo time.
Ooh. Everyone's favorite time.
So if you haven't seen the Complete Avenger classic comic book series, you can find it on globalcomics.com. Search out Rosales Comics, and we have the complete series there available in digital formats for free. You just got to watch it using their app. Also, these wonderful brand new shirts are available. They are fantastics, and they have number 4 on them. This is an image of a touch light on a wall with a number 4 on it for copyright purposes. But you can enjoy them and be fantastic, and you won't be invisible. It's the latest thing.
Look incredible.
And, you'll be on fire with that. And as previously, this show had been brought to you by DMR Hosting, dmrhosting.com. It's your one-stop shop for domains and other .coms, .webs, .edus, and everything else. Their business platform is only $4.45 a month and has a 99.99% uptime with unlimited data storage, unlimited data transfer, and 5 domains hosted for your one account. With that kind of affordability, you cannot pass up a deal like this for dmrhosting.com. Thanks a lot for being here, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate your help with the show. And, yeah, we will catch you guys next time. Make it a great day.
In the spotlight, your eyes on me. Every move I make, every word I speak. From the red carpet to the front page news. summer to the dark and the bold. We dissect it all with our